We have our special guest today.
Teacher.
Doctor, teacher.
I'm a ship captain.
Do you remember your first day as a captain?
I never heard about sea.
I wanted to become a police officer because in the 90s there was this show, Streets of Broken Lamps.
This profession is for you.
We live in the 21st century. AI is stepping on our toes.
It's really difficult to imagine.
Do you have any boats? Do you have any yacht?
The pirates' activity is still high.
Big Apple.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Big Apple Podcast, the podcast where we discuss the life, the universe, and everything. And here today we have me, Igor, and
Ayub with you.
And we have our special guest today. It's one of our students. Please welcome Georgiy.
Hello, everybody.
Yay! Hello, Georgiy. So, Georgiy, I will tell our listeners right away, you are a ship captain.
Yes, I'm a ship captain. I graduated from Novosibirsk State Academy of Water Transport and become a sailor, become a ship's officer. And nowadays, yes, I'm a ship's captain, mostly on tankers, oil and chemical tankers.
Yeah, that
Full
is.
profession.
Like, I think every boy, when one does grow up, like maybe even girls, they have this list of professions which are considered to be like iconic. Some people want to be an astronaut or cosmonaut, if you prefer. Some people want to become
Doctor.
Teacher.
doctor, teacher.
Teacher,
Yeah.
yes.
And captain is somewhere like on this list. It's somewhere. Whoa!
Yeah,
like,
it's,
to become
Somebody
a captain.
wants to be a pilot,
Pilot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah. So
plane pilot.
every time you hear this, like he's a captain, you're like, oh my. My first wish, like when I caught myself like thinking about it, I wanted to become a police officer because in the 90s there was this show, the Russian show, like Streets of Broken Lamps. What do you think about the title? Streets of Broken Lamps, about the police enforcement. And yeah, I was 6 years old, so I was thinking like, yeah, that would be cool to become a police officer. But soon after that, I wanted to become a paleontologist. I guess I wanted to become a dinosaur, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I wanted to be a musician, like because puberty hit. But eventually I became a teacher. Maybe it's not on the list of like, it's not as high as being a captain, but I don't mind. I actually love my job. So I wanted to ask, like, what about you guys? Like, what was the top goal of who you wanted to be?
Well, as for me, I got sick one day and I went to the hospital and I saw like there are many doctors around me. It's so friendly. I was a child that time. I was maybe 9 years old. Yeah, I got influenced by that career that I have seen in them, like how they deal with situations, how they are polite. So first I wanted to be a doctor. Then when I became a teenager, my mind switched to IT. And I started learning stuff like by myself, like fixing my computer by myself and learning more from YouTube and stuff like this. Then later, like when I went to university, I started getting interested in linguistics. So I was like really mesmerized by the aspects of languages and how they function deeply, how you can also like connect them to science. So basically, I did my master's degree like in teaching English, but also I made a thesis about biosemiotics, which is like the study of science. Yeah, the study of science, like, and their significance. Then I found it easy to teach English, and I found it also enjoyable, like to work with children, with teenagers, with adults. So here I am now, like I'm English teacher, but my dream was doctor. Anyway, yeah.
Right.
Literally, I had no idea what I was going to be when I was a little kid. My family, they were trying to influence me, kind of the jobs they did back in the day. So my mom was a financial analyst, so she was trying to guide me through that path. Oh, that would be great if you just to take that path to have like an economist or whatever. But I never been good at like with the numbers. So I was like, all right, maybe not. So as you said, so at some point I was into music and being like a musician, like, all right, I can play drums, so I can do it as a career. And then I remember at one point where I was into like racing, like cars or like motorcycles. So it took for a while, and I was thinking about, all right, it will be a career. But unfortunately, it didn't happen because I had kind of accidents, like car crashes and motorcycle crashes. So it ended even before it started. And then I worked like kind of like an import and export specialist. And I worked as a managing director before I started teaching English. And yeah, for like 8 years, I've been teaching like English. I'm an English teacher for 8 years. So here I am.
You mean fortunately?
Great.
Yes.
So that's why
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of a fortunate thing. Yeah.
Oh, in my childhood, yeah, my hero was my grandfather. He is an army colonel, and I expect to be a military person also.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but in childhood, yeah. After that, maybe I'd like to play football, soccer. I mean, yeah. I played in childhood, but later my father was like a IT guy, programmer. I also tried to be close to IT. When I come to Novosibirsk in 1997, here we have our family, kind of like a dynasty. My aunt is a captain on the river ship. My uncle on the river ship, but my aunt, she also has a captain certificate. She worked mostly on a training ship at sea. My brothers, my cousins actually studied in the University of Water Transport, Academy of Water Transport, now university. Actually, in the beginning, I said, okay, I will enter the Academy of Water Transport also, but I never heard about sea at all. And I said, okay, I will go to electrical department because I know maybe because 22 volts in the socket and like this. But my aunt said, no, don't do like this. Enter, please. And after that, I entered and my career started.
How does one become a ship captain? What are the first steps that a young person nowadays should take to start this journey?
Difficult to say. You mean how they choose this profession,
Yeah,
or
it's like-
how to start?
For instance, they dream about like, oh, that's it. I have decided. I want to be a captain because my parents want me to be a captain.
Anyway, if you are
what should I do
decided to get the career of seaman, you have to enter in Novosibirsk, for example, Academy of Water Transport. In Russia, we have several maritime academies, universities in St. Petersburg and in Vladivostok. You can choose anyone, enter, and start your career.
If I were a kid, I imagine myself, that would be like too much of a step for me. I would think like, I can never achieve this. But there are people who actually like achieve these dream professions, who actually become like these people. What would inspire a person to actually take these steps?
Interesting question, yeah. And if you would like to travel in sea a lot worldwide, you are ready to be not at home for a long time. This profession is for you. But also, it's a good job because for me, for example, because we have a contract, 3 months contract nowadays, for example. When we come home, we have a vacation for 3 months also. So totally per year, 6 months at sea and 6 months we have a vacation, and you can do anything.
So this is kind of an advantage.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
3 months on and 3 months off. It's a kind of advantage. What about the disadvantages?
Disadvantages.
Being on sea for a long
you're
time.
outside of your home city or outside. Yeah, you're not with your family.
Yeah, one of
Yeah,
the biggest
The
setbacks. Yeah.
it could be challenging. Yeah.
It's like,
Well, you make new friends on a vessel.
oh yes, sure. And I have a lot of friends. We start work with, and now don't work. For example, but anyway, we have a chat of friends. Yeah, then we discuss anything, maybe some problems. Mostly, of course, it's professional problems. But anyway, it's we talk like a friends also
Yeah. That's
about
interesting.
everything.
And speaking about 3 months vacation, you know who also has 3 months vacations?
Teachers.
Teachers in state schools.
Regular teachers, yeah.
Yeah,
Not,
like-
state schools.
This might be a nuisance of some kind, actually, if we speak about teachers, because that's like for 3 months. It's not actually a vacation, it's a period when you have not so much to do. Like, and if you get used to this life of constant teenage drama and yelling kids, I mean, all these things that we love, then yeah, these 3 months vacations is a terrible period. Continuing speaking about young people, should nowadays young people consider this profession at all, to be a seaman?
Of course. Yeah, sure. It's for me, it's a really good profession. I like it. Yes, it's every day it's becoming more and more complicated. In the beginning, for example, it was like when we come to the port, we get relaxed. Nowadays, it's a lot of inspection and everything. And for people, if you want to get a good salary, for example, it's also for you, your profession.
Well, of course, I had lots of misconceptions. And in my mind, like when the ship comes to shore, there's always a bunch of sailors running down to the shore, I don't know, visiting local ladies and having fun after the long absence from land. Is it like this?
Nowadays, it's not like this. Because when
They
you come
come to
here,
ship.
it's it's a cargo operation starts, and mostly all crew is full of attention. And they have to do their job, and as I said, inspections, and maybe company representatives come on board when you're in port, I mean, and you go outside at sea, and after that people become relaxed, more or less. But as you said, to be fully relaxed, you can be only when you're signed off, and
I see.
go to vacation.
Can you like describe a typical day at sea? Like what things do you like witness and see, like observe? How do you do your job like every day?
How to explain? Nowadays, it's more or less like a Groundhog Day. It starts the same way, and it's an end of the day. It's the same day, but the ship is working is 24 hours, 24/7. I mean,
Wow.
and for example, concerning 2 departments: navigational department, engine department, and vessel is going 24/7, and people have to work. And the regular watch is like 4 hours on and 8 hours of rest.
So they have shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have shifts.
And usually we have chief officer, second officer, third officer, and they change each other.
Yeah.
Same like engineers in the engine room.
I was about to ask something about the vocational statistics in Russia. So, I mean, does Russia need more seamen than before, or what about the percentage of people who are into
Also
into
interesting
this career
questions.
path?
Nowadays, as I remember recent statistics, Russians approximately has a 9% of worldwide fleet.
Is that a lot, or like...
It's really a lot.
It is
Yeah.
9.
Of worldwide, not only for Russian ships here. And Russians work everywhere.
Actually, yeah, as I told you before, we frequently receive, like in our port, we call it Mersa Kibir, in my city back in Algeria, it's called Oran. So we frequently receive and like receive a lot of Russian ships, and
Actually, I worked before in Algeria.
yeah.
We went to Port Skikda. It was a loading port, and transferred the cargo to Bijaya in Algeria also.
Bijaya,
Algiers and Oran
Eastern
also.
of Algeria.
Yes, I worked.
So like each time we see like a Russian flag coming
Mhm.
from
Yes.
the sea.
And actually, I was on the ship
Hooray.
under the Russian flag. Recently, nowadays, I work mostly on the ship under the Liberian flag. If you are worked under the foreign flag, you have to get a special seaman book. And
Yeah.
But when you're on a ship and if you need to identify yourself, do you use your passport or do you use these documents?
we use end passport and seaman's book. Maybe in Russia we have also the seaman's identity document. It's a little bit different, not shown here, but we have also.
Yeah.
And could you tell us about this book?
It's a collection of instructions. Maybe it's a lot of information about modern seamanship, and very useful for seamen also. And when you study navigation or you're engineer or electrical officer on board, it will be suitable for you.
So yeah, people, if you want to become a seaman or a captain eventually, like note it down, the 21st Century Seamanship. This is the title of the book. It's funny you've mentioned the Groundhog Day, and it made me think about films, which there are plenty of films about sailors, about captains. So which ones come to your mind when you think about like the most iconic ones?
Pirates of the Caribbean. That's a kind
Jack
of
Sparrow,
yeah,
the Captain Jack Sparrow.
Captain
Yeah.
Jack Sparrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same, yeah.
Hook.
There was that movie by Tom
Hook.
Hanks.
Yeah.
Oh
by
yeah,
Dustin Hoffman.
I also remember it, but forget.
The name of
Captain Phillips.
Yeah. Captain Phillips,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. That was actually a real story.
Mhm.
So this brings us to a question. Actually, do you ever face such situations at sea with pirates? I mean,
Ooh,
Yeah, that was-
we
yeah.
got to the
Also,
I was waiting for that,
interesting question. Yeah, recently in Somali area, the piracy was exist,
Mhm.
and mostly in West Africa also. I worked in West Africa and traveled through the Somali area also. During the travel through the Somali area,
Mhm.
you go in convoy, for
Mhm.
example. It's not like only one ship, it's ship over the ship in line and
Like
proceeding,
35.
yes, and it's protected by military ships. The situation in Somali area is more or less the calm. It's okay. Not so dangerous like was before, and the area becoming less of yes. And West Africa, the pirates activity is still high,
Mhm.
yeah.
and even in our company, they maybe 2 years ago the ship was hijacked,
Mhm.
and the people spent maybe 2 or 3 months
As hostages.
like this.
Wow.
And after that the company and so the company pay money to
So
get them back.
what is the main goal of these pirates? Is it to hijack a ship and to break it down or to sell it, or is it the ransom which they ask for people?
Yeah, they take people and want to get some money
Mhm.
From the company, right?
from company, from insurance company. Yeah, because all ships insured nowadays, and the people on board also concerning this risk of hijacking.
And have you ever witnessed something like this, like with your eyes, like while working?
By my eyes, no, but I passed through such areas, and the crew and the ship should be ready to face
So
the
you have
pirates.
so you have special specific instructions to deal with such problem.
Yes, and in a company, on board the ship, we have a security officer.
Yeah.
Which is responsible for.
Double barrel buckshot.
Yeah,
I don't think-
actually, guns is prohibited, and if the vessel is hijacked, we
Throw stones.
shouldn't fight. Yeah.
But you have something like you shoot with water or something like this, like
Water cannon.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
water
it's
cannons.
if the fire hoses and something is working, it's difficult to come on board. But if the pirates already on board, we shouldn't fight them. Yeah,
Oh,
like this. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
because
Yeah.
they show a lot in the movies, like people fight and stuff, but actually sometimes it's safer to just acknowledge the situation and just follow the like pirates.
And wait for being executed.
No, I think their goal, I hope their goal is not to execute, but to just take you hostage and then let you go as soon as they get the money.
The money,
Yeah.
the
So,
ransom.
your chances to just follow the orders, your chances to survive are higher. At least that's what I understand. Like that should be this way.
Yes, it's like this. And then actually on board we have like a citadel where the people can stay and closed.
So
A
it's
safe
like,
room.
yeah, safe room.
Safe
like-
room. Yeah.
Safe room, yeah. But why aren't commercial ships armed if a danger like this exists at sea?
As I said, as I told before, we have a security team. But for a person on board, it shouldn't be because when we are enter the port, we shouldn't get the arm or something.
Yeah,
Yes, and the security team maybe come on board before the high-risk area, and after we passed it, is left.
they leave. Ah,
They
I see,
leave,
I see.
yeah.
I see.
So they never come enter on the ship to the port.
As soon as a ship with arms like enters the port, it is considered as like a military ship, not
Yeah.
commercial ship. I see.
Okay, let's change the topic a little bit from dangers to fun. I bet there are periods on a vessel when you don't work, when like you have some time off, like a day off or a couple of hours off before you go to sleep.
Anytime anyway we celebrate the birthdays of crew. We celebrate like New Year and celebrate Happy New Year or Christmas. Recently, I worked on board with the Filipino crew, and they are Catholics, and they celebrate the.
Oh, what I mean is that, for example, if you're off duty, do you go fishing? Like,
Oh yes, sometimes if we have time, and if, for example, if the vessel is waiting for loading or discharging, and we stay at anchor. And some people, and mostly Filipino guys, they like to fish.
So, what was your biggest catch when you were at work?
Oh, it was
A shark. Tell us a shark.
I catched a shark actually, but it was not a big one. Maybe less than 1 meter of length. Maybe
Less than
60 centimeters. Yeah.
Yeah.
But biggest one is it was in the Persian Gulf. The name of fish is sikal. Yeah.
Did you eat it alone or with the crew?
Oh, you just bring it to the cook, like,
It is mine.
Here it
Don't
is.
touch it.
Here's our
Yeah.
dinner for today.
Yes, we eat the fish also. Yeah, which is catched.
aren't there any regulations like don't eat everything you catch? Just
Yes, it's like a standard regulation. If you don't know this kind of fish, don't eat.
What would
Yeah.
be poisonous? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
pufferfish.
Pufferfish. Yeah.
All right. And what is
tasty.
the most beautiful sea you have been to? While,
yeah,
while at work?
landscapes, horizon. Bring me the horizon.
Yeah, sunsets and
Nice
stuff. You
group,
know,
by the way.
Beautiful seas.
calmest and
Best one I liked is when we passed through the Panama Channel from Atlantic side to Pacific Ocean side, from Cristobal to Balboa, and from the Balboa side, it's a really great
Lagoon.
sea.
View,
Is
yeah.
there
Like,
like
yes, it's like a lot of different kind of fish. It's very clean, and you can see it
Wow,
from board.
wow.
From the board. It's
other
a
ladies on
great
the
one.
shore dancing in
Caribbean.
their skirts and
But
marimba
actually,
playing.
it's a lot. Any sea is beautiful. I liked it a lot.
About association. So when you're asked about the sea and about the ocean, what is the most memorable? Just the day, the experience that comes to your mind.
Nowadays, I work on a bunkering ship. bunker in ship, so we give a fuel to another ship. And the very memorable date was when we come alongside the very, or maybe biggest one, passenger vessel, cruise vessel.
Cruise vessels, yeah.
Come alongside and give them a bunker. A lot of passengers was on board, and it was really interesting.
And do you remember your first day as a captain? Yeah. did
First
you feel?
day as a captain. Interesting question, because when I became a captain, it was a new built ship, and the ship stayed in the shipyard, and we spent approximately 2 months in the shipyard. Only after that we sailed out, and they can say it was my first day as a captain on board when I started to command of this vessel.
So how did you feel about it when you started commanding it, like at large sea?
It was great, yeah. Interesting experience, yeah.
Yeah.
And perfect.
So I think
like
we
it.
can compare it to pretty much any profession. Like, can you remember your first day teaching?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I remember it.
And
It
do you
was with
remember the moment
teenagers.
when you started liking it? Like you were like, yeah, I have
But
some.
actually,
Mhm.
if we are comparing with any other
Uh-huh.
profession here, it's better to say if you're becoming a director of something.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. But teachers direct their classes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
They manage the class.
And it's completely different than the other managerial kind of duties in a way. So
Well, it was actually stressful the first day for me when
Mhm.
I became the teacher, like first time. It
Mhm.
was years ago, maybe 7 years ago or 8 years ago. But I remember a lot of things about that role in that day. I mean, so I was faced with teenagers, and I was young. I looked young, and the teenagers ate me alive. Yep, they ate me
That's-
alive
Did they?
because I was soft with them. You know, like I was, I was like, I went there with the mentality of a student, not as a teacher. So I was stressed, and when I saw that chaos, like I said, okay, I need to do something about it.
Yeah,
So
I
all
also-
the training I went through, when it comes to practice, it's difficult to practice it.
Yeah,
So yeah, you need to face the music when you are there.
That's another good phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Face
the
the
music.
Yeah.
We live in the 21st century. AI is stepping on our toes. What about the future of the ships and the future captaining the ship?
You mean maritime industry at all?
Yeah.
Yes, sure. As you know, I think, yeah, a lot or most the transportation of cargo in our globalization period, is delivered by sea mostly, and it will be continued more and more. Recently, we hear, we get some information, we read the articles that the industries grow up, and we are going to get the ships robots, which should be completely without crew, but it should be maintained anyway by shore staff. But it's more or less close, but on my opinion, I think it will be not so close.
It's
Well,
like fully
as-
automated.
Yes, it should be fully automated, and we got some kind of ships, but it was only like an experiment only.
Autonomous, like the electric cars, like Teslas.
Yeah. And what is your opinion on this? Because they say that a human will always perform better than an AI. Because a captain, I can give you an example. For example, in that movie I, Robot, when Will Smith was driving his car, police car, and there was like a family coming toward him. Okay. So they had an accident, and both cars were in the river. I think it was in river, like sinking in water. And the robot came, and it gave the priority to the policeman, not to the child that was drowning. So here AI thought about like the rank of the person or the status of the person, not about the age of the person. So instead of saving the child, it saved a policeman. Now here it comes the idea where they say they say we humans have better judgment than an AI. So do you think it's wise to release fully automated ships at sea without captains? Because the captain will always make maybe
The
a
right
decision,
decision.
the right decision in some situations.
I think the IE, artificial intellect, here is not so high nowadays.
Mhm.
And maybe in the future, in far future, not recent future. We're talking about the critical situation mostly.
Yeah.
And during the critical situation, I don't know how AI will follow. will do.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the point. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the point.
So what is impossible for AI to complete nowadays? Why the crew is necessary?
Yes. Nowadays, anyway, any ship has two departments. It's navigational and engine department. It's really difficult to imagine how it should be discussed with the specialist, with the maritime community, how they should follow, and they should get a lot of experiments, instructions how to follow in different situations, because it was like only one experiment, yes, and they bring the vessel from one point, the big one, of course, to another point, and that's it. But it's a lot of different ships, it's a lot of different size, and a lot of different jobs which the vessel is doing, a lot of different cargoes which they carry, and it's different type of service ship. A lot of thoughts about it, and it should be discussed.
Maybe you can use AI in operational or like an engineering stuff of the ship's procedures, but you need at least a couple of people to take care of the daily routine, like cooking, cleaning, so you can make AI to do that kind of stuff. On board,
Actually, we have ships more or less automatic, but it's concerning the engine department, without manning, or only one engineer is responsible, and he has a alarm system in his cabin, for example, but the engine room is working without any service till the next port. And just if something is wrong, for example, this engineer can switch to another system. That's it. And they order the service in next port, for example, like this.
It's
But usually we do any service on board.
Right.
A lot of
That
service.
reminds me about these sci-fi stories where like the whole crew of the ship are being in some hibernatic state, like and they're sleeping while two, for example, people or one person is on the captain's bridge, like maintaining all the systems.
Passengers. Yeah, I was about to speak about it.
So may this be the future of maritime industry?
Why not? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No, just your opinion. Yeah, we're interested to know, what do you think?
Nowadays we have more or less such way ships. Yeah, it's like not a lot, not a big crew, not like a standard crew we used to get on board, but still a lot of ships work on an old style, full crew on board.
And that's the right thing.
And I think it's still will work in such style for a long time more.
Of course, yeah. We are far behind actually in this technology.
I would like us to discuss. For the next thing, you're going to need your 5 fingers. Like, I hope you have them ready with you. So maybe you have heard about this guy. Like, there was this American psychologist from the 20th century named Frederick Herzberg, and he introduced the theory of being satisfied with your job, with your profession. And if we break it down to the most simple, to the very basic things, it may go as following. It would be like 2 optional approaches. motivational factors, which include like achievement, interest, something that drives you for work, responsibility, and advancement. And the second branch would be the hygienic factors, something, the lack of some of which might like distract you from working there. So salary, conditions, policies at work, when somebody controls your work too much, governs your work, supervision also included, relationship with people. And there was this article for compiled by the Michigan PhD Stacy Browner about how satisfied are you with your current profession. So exactly, prepare your 5 fingers, bend one if it's about you. You love what you do.
Of course, yeah.
All right.
You start from the thumb or pinky?
Oh, it's up to you. Like the ball is in
Exactly.
your
The
court.
middle, no? All right, okay.
Okay, let's do
No, let's go with the thumb. All right,
right.
I'll just flow with the rest. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right,
Okay.
let's go. Or pinky. All right.
All right.
Up to you.
You do something that matters.
Of course, yeah.
We have a purpose. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have a purpose.
Yeah.
You think that your job is important.
Yep.
of course.
All right. Third one, you consider your people. The people who you work with are important for you. You have good relationship with people around you,
Yeah, of course.
Professionally, of course.
Professionally.
at least.
Yeah. In some level, yeah.
Yeah.
You have some growth at work, personal or professional growth.
Personal growth, yeah.
And you
Yes.
professionally,
Yeah.
like if you have at work your ability to grow.
Yeah, I mean, since I
Yep.
came to BigAppleSchool, I learned a lot of things like about online teaching and more. I mean, deeper.
You gain respect from your work.
Yeah.
Like maybe your colleagues respect you, maybe people who you don't know respect your work. Maybe I don't know, people at home respect what you do. Maybe you respect yourself. Nevertheless, you get your share of respect for your own satisfaction. How many fingers have you got, guys?
5.
5.
Oh, I am surrounded by lucky people.
Yes.
So, Georgiy, are you satisfied with being a captain?
Yes, I'm satisfied to be a captain. Yes, I like my job. And I'm going to continue, if my health allow, to stay at sea as long as I like, or as long as possible. I will work at sea.
What is the general length of a captain's professional life?
I know captains who is 65 years old, and they still continue their work, and it's okay. But some companies has restrictions anyway. So if you get the age of maybe 60 or even 63 or 65, they don't continue your contract with you. Yeah, but you can go to another company maybe, or find the job ashore, for example.
Like teaching others.
Yes, I prefer
Yeah, we
to
discussed
be a
that
teacher.
on our
Yes,
lessons,
we
yeah.
discussed earlier. Yeah, so I teach my students in my academy. I graduate from the academy. I continue my studying as like postgraduate studies, aspirantura. Usually, the people have to spend 3 years to get their thesis or get the PhD degree. I spent 5 years.
Yeah.
To get it. But actually it's a little bit different. So it's after master's degree, but it's not like professors or doctors. We have a middle one.
Associate professor.
Yes, like this.
Executive professor.
Executive professor.
In Russian, it sounds, if it's direct translation, it's like candidate of science. Like this, yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
somewhere in
better
the
to
middle.
say yes, like
Associate,
associate. Yeah.
Associated.
So, and if something wrong with my health or something, I'm going to join my university and teach my students
Yeah.
as a navigators.
So you always have an option.
Yeah.
that reminds me, Billy Joel had this song, Downstream Alexa.
Mhm.
No? Anybody? Yeah, I'm speaking in songs.
Mhm.
So, and I sail on my down Eastern Alexa, something. So it's
Yeah,
a
I know this song.
song about a fisherman who has his own little boat or yacht or something, and his everyday life is about catching fish and feeding his family. Like that's his main income, like to catch fish. So, do you have any boat? Do you have any yacht, or do you have any plans of sailing on your own
Actually, I don't have any yachts at home.
yachts?
Yachts, yeah.
Right.
I have a friends.
Mhm.
And they have a yachts. They have a boats, and usually we catch a fish
Mhm.
using these boats
Yeah,
on
fish, yeah,
rivers. Yeah,
fish, yeah.
I liked it also. Yeah.
So the question is, do you want to have in the future? Do you want to have your own maybe yacht,
Yacht.
or to command it by yourself? Sailing by
Use
yourself.
it by yourself or
Be
rent
like a
someone
Hemingway,
else.
like on
Yeah.
photos. That's my
A
fish,
captain of
that's
my
my
own.
boat.
Actually, I'm not sure because I know how a lot time I have to spend to this yacht,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
yeah.
But it's not your priority, like, oh, I want to buy it as soon as possible.
Yes, it's not my priority at home. Yeah.
Have you ever had to deal with any peculiar situations when you manage your crew? Does your crew always agree with you? So you see, I'm talking about probably misconceptions which we may people on shore have based on movies, books, and everything.
Mhm.
That there might be difficult relationships between the captain and the crew.
Everybody knows on board
Mhm.
that the final decision will be under the captain.
Mhm.
They can say something, maybe not against, they can say, we prefer, maybe, or we suggest something. Maybe we can discuss it.
Mhm.
But if it's against the rule, of course not. And anyway, the final decision will be under the captain.
So let them complain.
Anyway, we have on board the complaint procedures. So it's not like this. So you're tyrann on board
Of
or
course, yeah.
something like this. We have a complaint procedure, and if something wrong, the captain treats the crew, I don't know, very bad. So they can complain to company, and company will investigate
Yeah.
what is happening on board.
So is captain the highest rank when it comes to like commercial business?
Yes,
So admiral is for military stuff also.
yes,
Admiral,
only
yeah.
military.
All
But
right.
would you like to switch?
Actually, if I would like to grow up in my company, for example, next step will be, but it's not on board the ship. It will be in a company.
Mhm.
It's like a superintendent.
Managerial kind of.
Actually, maritime superintendent.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have a technical superintendent who is responsible for the technical exploitation of ship, maintenance of ships. But also we have a navigational
Mhm.
superintendent.
Yeah.
I would like remind our listeners and us ourselves that English is huge, just as huge maybe as the ocean. I wanted to remind that there is also English poetry, and I've prepared an English poem
Mhm.
by Ernest Sargent, an English poet, about the life on a ship. And I would like us to read this poem. It's a very, I think, inspiring poem. So, dear listeners of our podcast, poetry is important. It may teach you a lot. And this poem is about life. Well, it's called Life on the Ocean Wave. I would like you to be engaged as well. So I'm going to read first 4 lines and then we're going to go in a circle. Ayub, get ready for the next 4 lines. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. A life on the ocean wave, a home on the rolling deep, where the scattered waters rave and the winds their revels keep. Oh, that's good. Ayub.
Like an eagle caged I pine on this dull and changing shore. Oh, give me the flushing brine.
The spray and the tempest's roar.
Oh, I have the chills.
Once more on the deck I stand of my own swift gliding craft. Set sail, farewell to the land.
The gale follows fair abaft. We shoot through this speaking form, like an ocean bird set free, like the ocean bird our home. We will find far out on the sea.
And one more. The land is no longer in view. The clouds have begun to frown. But with a stout vessel and crew, we'll say, let the storm come down. Ayub?
And the song of our hearts shall be, while the winds and the waters rave, a home on the rolling sea, a life on the ocean wave.
That was a good one. Like, have you felt it? I felt it.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
That's a good poem. That's good poetry. So, dear listeners, in our school, the Big Apple School, we do not only speak. We do not only read texts, articles, or listen. We also may speak about poetry. Big Apple School is the school about what you want it to be. Literature as well. Yeah, that's an important part. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Georgi. Thank you, Ayub.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank
That
you.
was a good conversation.
It was.
And dear listeners, welcome to the Big Apple School.
All right.
Yep. See you there.
Farewell.
All aboard! Who's got the reference?